needs that we have. Adoption can be very expensive. The final bill ranges between $60,000 and $70,000. And God has been so good and so faithful that we've seen most of the funds come in through grants, there's even tax credits and a variety of other things. Generous donations, of course, so far. And so we're very close to meeting the goal to have the adoption fully funded. And this project, this Both Hands project, is like the final push. To clarify, once again, through the text that we've sent, this is not a request for anyone to have any additional financial commitment. This does not involve anyone's pocketbooks. This is just your time as well as your circle of influence that we are looking to engage with this Both Hands project. We should have sent each person here a link to a explanation of a Both Hands project through their own kind of production. I would encourage you to go back and watch that if you haven't. But I'm going to assume that you haven't and try to explain it as best as I can. So Both Hands is an organization that's been in operation for about 15 years. They wanted to find a way to bring together the full calling of James 1:27, where James describes true religion as caring for the widows and the orphans. Adoption, of course, is either pulling a child out of the orphan or foster system or preventing a child from going into that system, which is more so what our adoption, how our adoption connects with the ministry towards orphans. But there was a creative way to also reach and care for widows that Both Hands has kind of coordinated. So they have built a fundraising path and program that engages our local community to choose a day to go as a team and serve a widow, as well as have each person on that team send out 10, 15, 20 letters to their circle, friends and family, telling them about the project and asking if they would be willing to donate or sponsor each person on the team, right? So think of it like this. Everyone on the team would put forth some effort of their time and resources, and instead of them getting paid for it, the money would be going towards the adoption expenses, and we are doing work towards serving a widow. Kind of think of it like that a little bit, right? Now, we have already made contact with a widow. I'm going to share her story in a few minutes here. But that's kind of the basic idea. Some of the important things that we need help with, first and foremost, is letters. The most important part of all of this is to get 15, 20 plus people together and for everyone to provide their contact list of people who they think would be interested in being a part of caring for a widow and caring for an orphan. Now, Both Hands provides the letter, they provide the mailing, the stamps, and all of the funding to send everything out. All we really need to do is compile the list of contacts. And so with the letter writing, we would be holding a letter writing party at our house.
And virtually if they can't.
And virtually if you can't make it in person. But the idea is just getting our community together, everybody bringing a list of 15 to 20 contacts. We give you all of the supplies, all of the letters, and all we need help with is you putting a signature down and writing out the address on those envelopes, right? And all the stamps will be provided, etc., right? And then you mail them out, and we will have a digital platform for people to donate, those who receive those letters. And there's also a way for them to send donations to Both Hands directly. Nothing goes directly to us. It all goes to Both Hands. And then Both Hands distributes those funds to, basically the debts that we have with, our agency and our attorneys and things like that, right? So that's the first thing that we need help with. So if you can't commit to labor, if you can't commit in some financial way or what have you, the most valuable thing that we need help with is those letters. On average, a successful both hands project sends out about 500 to 600 letters, right? So if we have 30 people sending letters to 10 to 15 of their contacts, that's all it takes to hit those numbers. So that's the idea, strength in numbers. And then there's the actual work towards a widow and her family. So let me share a little bit about the contact that we've made with a local widow. Brittany has a relationship with a woman who is a widow herself, but runs a care ministry.
She was
It's a nonprofit.
Yeah, a nonprofit grief support group called Hand in Hand. It's awesome.
Yeah, and so she has contacts with other widows as well. This individual, we contacted her first. She said, hey, I'm good. God's met all of my needs, but there is a family that I think this would be appropriate for. And so she introduced us to a mother named Michelle. And Michelle shared with us, I'm sorry, not Michelle, Melissa. I see Michelle's on the call here, two Michelles. Melissa, her name is Melissa. And her brief story is this. She's been married for, 15, 20 years. I think actually closer to 25. Married for close to 25 years. Her and her husband had 4 children together. Their first kids were a set of twins. They're 25 now. After their 4 children, God also called them to adopt. They went on a missions trip. They were inspired to care for the orphan, and they have adopted a family of 4 children. So they adopted a family of 4 children. Soon after they decided to adopt, the father, her husband, was diagnosed with, I believe it's called ALS. It's very similar to multiple sclerosis, or it's also called somebody help me here. Lou Enger's. I think it's called Lou Enger's disease. Anyways, it is it's a disease that basically over the course of 3 to 4 years slowly disables the body, and then ultimately the person dies from that disease. It's something with the neural path from the brain to the muscles. The muscles begin to shut down, and so this man slowly, in front of his whole family, over the course of 3 to 4 years, lost all mobility, and ultimately passed away in January. So he passed away in January, and the woman is left with 5 children at home, 4 of which are adopted, that she is caring for on her own. So I met her today, and she's a wonderful woman, loves the Lord, and we're going to find creative ways to serve her and to care for her in this very, very heavy time of grief that she is in. So we have picked a work day. This is the second big piece of all of this. We have picked a work day, the first Saturday in December, which is December 6th. That is the work day. Now, on that day, we're going to put together a team to actually do the work and the labor. If you're on the team in general, if you just write letters, you're not obligated to do anything else. If you don't want to write letters and you just want to show up for the workday, that's fine as well, right? It's very flexible. But we all come together to do multiple things. So we have a work day, December 6th. We haven't chosen a time yet, but that's the day that we all show up and care for the family, right? So just to share a little bit more about the needs of this family, I'll be honest, when I showed up at the home, I was kind of taken aback a little bit. The man, the father who passed away, was a very successful businessman. His grandfather operated a yacht manufacturing and selling company, and the husband was a part of that company and then broke off and did his own brokerage of yachts. So at the time of his, when business was booming, they were very wealthy. But all of that has dried up, right? They have the 5 kids, a beautiful home, beautiful car, beautiful life, but everything that was providing that is basically gone. She's not working. He's, all of the income from that is is no longer regular. So I feel like that's important to share, because when we have the work day, you might be tempted to show up that day, look at the house and be like, what are we doing here, right? But there are a lot of needs that this woman has. Two of the major needs. The first is meals. She struggles cooking for a family of 6 with the situation that she's in. And one of the big things I'd like to do is compile a bunch of freezer meals for them. So a crock pot meal, right? You put it in a Ziploc bag, it's all ready to go, just throw it in the oven, right? So I'd like to bless her with, however many freezer meals we can get together. So that's number one. Number two is she does have some minor house projects. Now these are house projects. When I took a look at the house, the needs were very specific. So like Dad, there were some electrical needs, some minor electrical things. There was a room that we might paint depending on the kind of volunteers that we get together. So we might buy the paint and spend a day painting one of the rooms. It's one of the kids' rooms. It's all, the walls are all scuffed up and it's all crazy. 2 of her kids are special needs that she adopted. One of which is, I have it written down here, sorry. The details don't matter. There, two of which are very special needs, like getting phone calls from the teachers all day, destructive, causing issues. And so some of the home has kind of felt the brunt of that. And she's very open about all these things, by the way. I'm not sharing anything that she wouldn't share herself. And so there's a room that we could paint. There are some doors we could repair, some electrical work that could be done, okay? So minor projects. Usually with a both hands project, you're gonna see like videos and pictures of people going to these houses and like 20 people doing yard work or cleaning out a garage or doing simple manual labor. That is not the kind of need that this family has, right? So the work day will not be as significant as some of the other projects you might see through the Both Hands website, but there's still much work that she needs help with. We are also partnering with local businesses for them to come alongside and, do some kind of benevolence for them as well. So I'm talking with my auto mechanic to maybe provide a year's worth of oil changes. And I'm talking to an HVAC company to do a service on their HVAC for their home. So we're also looking at those kinds of partnerships too. So in your circle, if you know of somebody who provides some kind of, repairs or housework or something like this, that would be valuable to the team, right? To kind of, we have a special letter through Both Hands that is the official way to submit and ask as a 501c3. So that's also what we're looking for, is business sponsorships beyond just family sponsorships. But this woman is precious. Her story is tragic, but she is elated and so encouraged to have been chosen by us to be a recipient of so much love and benevolence from the community. So the goal is to bless her socks off, right? To do everything we can to not fully heal the wound, but to make her life easier. So that is my 15-minute spiel. I'm going to kind of close it out from there. It sounds kind of complicated, a lot of moving parts, but this was the easiest way to communicate that. Can I get any questions or concerns or comments from the call here about the project?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can.
Can?
Yes.
Okay. So my question is, I'm not finding the connection between the widow and the adoption. So can you explain that again?
So let's go to, well, first I'll read the passage from the book of James. It's called the organization is called Both Hands, as inspired by a scripture found in James chapter 1, verse 27. I'm just going to read it for us really quick. James 1, where it says, I'll read the whole thing. If you claim to be religious but don't control your tongue, you are fooling yourself, and your religion is worthless. Pure and genuine religion in the sight of God the Father means caring for orphans and widows in their distress and refusing to let the world corrupt you. So that's kind of the theology behind it. As far as the logistics go, it's kind of like this. It's like, so let's say Z, you were excited about the project, you wanted to be involved, right?
Wait, 1 second. It was my mistake. Instead of orphans and widows, I put adoptions and widows, and that's why I wasn't making a connection.
Okay, right.
But keep going. I didn't mean to interrupt you. But
Yeah.
I had the
No.
wrong message.
That's okay. Yeah, I mean, the idea is, the best thing you can do for an orphan is adopt them, right? So that's the connection as far as adoption, right? We're preventing an orphan, right? And that's definitely the case here. And so the way it all works together is, let's say Z, you were, you wanted to do it, and you were part of the letter sending team, right? And let's say you also opted to make a meal for this family, right? You are out of your own time and expenses buying the food, putting it together, sending it to the widow. You're not getting anything for it. Instead, you're asking other people to what's called sponsor you, right? The letter would say something along the lines of, I'm a part of a team who are helping a widow in need, and we're also raising funds towards a child being adopted. And so the funds are being sent that you would otherwise be paid to do whatever service you're providing, but the funds are going towards the adoption. So the funds being raised goes towards the adoption, but the labor and the work and the effort of whatever you do for the widow is coming out of your own generosity, your own time, right? So it is complicated a little bit, but it's like, there's other organizations where it's like, if you run a 5K for a fundraiser, you can get a sponsor, right? And the sponsor is just donating money towards a cause while you are doing something hard, right? It's a way of raising awareness for a greater need.
Right.
Yeah.